and here is my workstation where I do my figures. As you can see, got a lot of paint right there. These are that is my pigeon. These are Games Workshop paints. These cost $4 a bottle online at their website. I believe it's gamesworkshop.com. They cost $4 there. Or you can probably find these at your local hobby shop or comic book store. And mine sells it for $3 over there. But they never have any of the good paints, so I just buy it online. Usually buy in big bulk to save on shipping, so I don't keep buying, paints here and there, and then the shipping will jack up the price. Don't like doing that. Here we have what I sculpt with. I hardly use the epoxy paste. I was out of the epoxy sculpt, so when I ran out of that, I tried this out. It didn't work so well. I mean, it's more goopy. It was the only thing that the comic book store had, and I needed some sculpt. But then I found some online, so again, I work with these ones. It's permanent, self-hardening, and waterproof. These come in several different colors. I prefer to use white. Makes a nice base for my paints. Doesn't make it too hard to paint it with. I've had the black one before. It makes a mess. I'll tell you that. The black, it'll leave like marks on the figures too, and it's hard to paint on. So if you're gonna use one of these, white's the one to go with. Or gray. Gray is okay as well, but white is the best, in my opinion. Anyways, you got super glue if I need to super glue some, fodder pieces or whatever. Here's my little cup of water to wash off my paint. Got the glue gun for any sort of hot gluing I need to do. Of course, there's the Dremel. You always want to be safe when working with one of these. Wear your goggles so you don't get pieces of plastic hitting you in the face or in the eye especially, which has happened to me several times. I'll never do that again. Wear your goggles. Of course, when dremeling the epoxy sculpt, it makes some dust in the air, so you also want to make sure you're wearing a face mask so you don't breathe that in. Not really sure if it's toxic or anything, but I still wouldn't want to breathe that in. I got little carving tools and paint brushes here. A pair of scissors if you need to cut anything. Also got some wire cutters for those heavy-duty things you need to cut from a figure. A little pick. I use this to paint the details, the really hard details, like maybe on the face, the eyes, or, a little symbol on the chest or something like that, since painting it with a paintbrush would be very impossible. And most importantly, the figures. Now, something you guys may not know about me is that I do this as a full-time job, is these figures that I sell on eBay. I've been doing it for a few months. It's been going pretty good, I'd say. Up and down here and there each month. Because, as some of you may know, if you've been checking out my eBay, I start my figures at $19.99, and it can go higher from there, or it can just sell for the flat 20 bucks. But this is my box of random figures that I can work on. So yeah, this helps pay for the rent. In fact, it does pay for the rent. If not, then I have to dig a little deeper into my pocket to make rent. But anyways, I've gotten a lot of requests from you guys to make figures, but as you can see, my box is not really full of you know, a wide variety. I have just a few figures to work with. One figure that I've been asked to make by request by a couple of people is the Jubilee. People want the Jubilee that they see in my video. But unfortunately, I can't get my hands on a Marvel Girl. I don't buy singles on eBay because it's really too expensive for me to do so. I mean, I gotta do it on a budget that'll work. I mean, as you can see, I buy a lot of paints that takes up a lot of money. And as you can see from my table, I don't use any primer or any sealants on my figures. So some of the problems that I have with my figures are the joints. I paint on the joints, and then sometimes it chips off when you move it. So that's kind of a sad thing, but you know, I can't afford it. There's just too many things I gotta buy in order to just get the stuff, the figures, the paints, any sort of other materials I need to get, and just getting anything extra is just gonna, you know, put me overboard money-wise. But yeah, back to the whole people requesting the figures.